Hey guys, Sophia here with Turquoise Toffee, and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2023 IFBB Pro League Girl Power Pro Bikini and Pro Bikini Masters results. These women are stunning. Oh my gosh, the top 5, the winners, all of them, absolutely beautiful. So in terms of Olympia, the Masters are not qualifying, but the Open division is. So the top 3 from last year's Olympia get to go, and then the winner of each contest in the qualification period. There's no more tiered system, there's no more points, it is only the winner. So looking at our Open Pro Bikini, in first place was Romina, second Rihanna, third Jessica, fourth Janine, and fifth Kimberly, and the scores were pretty even all the way through 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So here's Kimberly in 5th place. My gosh, she's so beautiful. She's so tall, extremely lean. Her midsection is enviable. Very flat, very smooth, lovely skin, gorgeous tone. She's just really beautiful. I think she's got great conditioning. The line coming down her leg is so visible, looks fabulous. Her obliques are really easy to see as well. Like, she's got vascularity. She's so tight in her midsection. It's just awesome. And really nice full round delts as well. She's got beautiful proportions. You really notice the hourglass shape. I think she knows that she's very tall, so she's not going crazy wild with a super high shoe. She looks really lovely. I think her makeup is nice. The color of her suit, the cut of the suit is really beautiful. Posing is great. I do think she could have a little bit more roundness to the top of the glute up here. I think the size is amazing, but just a little bit more of the fullness on top. And the other thing I was thinking, because she's so tall and she has long limbs, long arms, long legs, her hair is also long and it keeps that illusion of length. She might experiment with having a little bit more like horizontal volume, like getting some PC curls out to the sides, kind of face framing. It might just add a little bit more width and take away some of all of the length, because when I look at Kimberly, to me she's just long and lean. But I think she's gorgeous. It was a great 5th place for her. Okay, next is Janine in 4th place. So this is exactly what I mean by the hair. Now, I don't suggest that our 5th place winner needs to have curls like this, but do you see what I mean about horizontal volume? It just fills the space. She looks so good. I just love it. I think it is such a beautiful look to have all of this face framing hair and not just long and straight, pulling your eye from top to bottom. Anyway, Janine is beautiful. She's got great glutes. It's the first thing I notice on her is the roundness, right from hamstring all the way to the suit connector. Just gorgeous shape. Great hamstrings as well. Perfect conditioning. The detail surrounding her quad looks beautiful, and the back leg as well. She's got this nice lump of muscle here too. She's got really nice obliques and certainly a very toned and flat midsection, but I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit more of that 6-pack kind of definition, just a little bit more of the lines showing through, just to really kind of tie everything together, because it's this piece of her torso that we're not seeing much definition, even though we have so much everywhere else. Her arms are amazing. She's got beautiful delts, great curves in the bicep and the triceps. Like I said, her hair is perfect. Her beautiful makeup is gorgeous. The color of her suit, I love it. It looks so good with her skin tone. Her posing is awesome. I love that her foot is really pointing more forward. Gives you a great look at her quad while also showcasing the glute. And I just think she's phenomenal, and she's absolutely gorgeous. And 4th place, yeah, no kidding. Beautiful. Okay, next and third was Jessica, who you will recognize from the Charlotte Pro. I am loving this suit color on her. I like this better than the green. I think it really complements her skin tone. Her hair looks darker to me. I don't know if that's just the lighting, but I think she just looks really fabulous here. The only thing I would change is I would do a little bit more color to the lip and less nude. Now, I think her delts look fantastic. So round and so full. Really good angle in her hourglass shape. Like this taper from lat to her tiny waist is really impressive. And then the balance between the delt and the glute is spectacular as well. She's another athlete that has this beautifully rounded glute. It's got such a great shape, and the definition is fabulous too. She's got the great glute quad detail with the line, that bit of a groove right in between, nice outlining down by the kneecap, a little bit of detail coming through on the back leg, but not too much. Great obliques. I think it'd be nice if we could get this part of the stomach just to be a little bit more flat looking. I notice the kind of the rib and the oblique a lot on her torso, but don't get me wrong, her waist is extremely small. She looks really athletic. I think she's got such a fabulous look. Again, posing with the foot a little bit more facing forward. I love it. I think it's super flattering to the quad. You see her gorgeous bubbly hamstring. She looks amazing. Okay, Rihanna in second place. Fantastic. So that is the kind of midsection I mean when I say a flatness to the front. You've got the insane oblique. Her ribs are not too ribby, right? Like you're not seeing too much of that line. You know she's lean. You know she's got nothing in her tummy, but she is so tight and just tiny. And man, does that ever highlight the hourglass shape. She's got a very broad, wide upper body. The delts are perfectly round, great lats, tiny waist, and then beautiful round full glutes. What a shape she has. I think she could maybe twist just ever so slightly more so that we see a tiny bit more of the other side of her stomach, like a little bit more of that other oblique, just to bring this shoulder a bit more backwards, just because I find her to be quite sideways in the torso. However, it does really show off how tiny her waist is, so it's certainly not a bad thing. Her makeup is stunning. Her face looks so bright. You really notice her eyes. You can see her eyeshadow. She's just glimmery and glowy and gorgeous. And she does have a little bit more of that horizontal curl, the volume near her face, and I think it's very beautiful. Again, the glute is awesome. I really noticed that shape. Nice conditioning as well. So you've got a little bit of outline. You've got the groove. You've got some detail on the back leg. She's just absolutely impeccable. I do notice that her hand is a little lower than typical. Often the girls have their backhand a little higher towards the belly button, but I think it looks good with her shape. So I don't hate it. I think she's really beautiful. And now in first place is Romina. Wow, she looks awesome. Her conditioning is fantastic. The legs look really tight, really toned. Her calves look really beautiful. She's got the oblique. Her midsection looks really muscular. She doesn't look overly vacuumed. She doesn't look soft. She just looks really tight and very firm. That nice hourglass shape. She doesn't look overly contorted either. Like it's an easy pose, very natural, very beautiful way of posing. I do find her hand also to be a little low. It's even lower than our second place competitor in this photo. It is just a photo, to be fair, but I do think that she could raise that a little bit higher. It would bring your eye up a bit more. But man, beautiful delt, so round, great proportions with the muscles in her arms and with her lats. The suit is gorgeous, the hair, the makeup. She looks really quite stunning, and I think this was a great look for her. And I love that she coordinated her nails to match the suit. What a nice touch. Okay, so here's the side-by-side. Admittedly, I don't think Romina's quite in her pose. She looks a bit heavy in the feet. She's not quite up on her toe yet. But even with that said, this is an impeccable lineup, and everybody is different and has different strengths, different beauty about the way that they're standing, about the different wonderful qualities. I really notice Kimberly's delts. And her super flat tummy. I notice Rihanna's tiny waist and that roundness to her glute. I notice Jessica's glute as well, and her delts. She's got a really great hourglass shape. This angle right here in the lat is really noticeable, particularly with Romina beside her, not quite in the pose. It just shows you what a great hourglass shape Jessica does in the way that she's posing. And then Janine, I really noticed her lower body here, this gorgeous line, the curve in her glute, that oblique, just super strong. Romina, I think her conditioning looks really great. Like I said, she's got just a fit look, very athletic, and she looks pretty darn good from behind too. And even in this photo, you can see she's got quite a bit of size in those legs. She's got a lot of muscle, very athletic lady. All right, now from behind, first of all, the length, everybody's hair looks gorgeous. Maybe Jessica could have a teeny bit off, but you know what? It's not resting on the glutes, so I'm okay with it. But overall, I love the variety. I love how you're seeing the delts. Perhaps Janine could lose just a little bit on the sides just so that we get a tiny bit more view of her skin in the upper back. Just a little bit more of those shoulders so you really notice that hourglass shape. But that's something I'm noticing a lot on Romina, is just how tiny her waist looks, and then the beautiful width to her shoulders in comparison to the glutes and the sweep of her quads. Rihanna beside her, delts look amazing, even larger, I think, than Romina's, a little bit more detail coming through. Everybody has really beautiful, visible glute ham tie-ins. It's a really fantastic back shot of the top 5. Everybody is just gorgeous. I noticed Janine has some really prominent hamstring definition. Jessica's glute ham tie-ins come to such a pretty point, very pronounced. Romina, what I like is she's got, I don't know whether it's the gloss or just her development in her muscle, but man, her glutes are just glowing right in the middle in the back, like right here, these spots where the light is hitting. She just looks so full, so round, and the hourglass shape looks awesome. So in terms of Olympia, Romina is now qualified. So moving on to our Masters Bikini over 40, in first place, Janine, second, Betty Jean, third, Angela, fourth, Shalan, and fifth, Elisangela. So here's Elisangela in fifth place. They didn't quite have a photo of her completely in her pose, so I've got 2 of them for you side by side. You can see she's got an amazing shape. My gosh, her glute is unreal. Beautiful size, beautiful curve, great detail in the quad, nice hamstrings. I think she could have maybe a little bit more of that curve on the top of the quad in the back, just a tiny bit more roundness rather than such a straight line. But my goodness, her glute is amazing. And even when she's fully in the pose here, her glute is so high and her back is so beautifully rounded and arched. It is extremely impressive. You can see how lean she is. She's got veins in her tummy. Her stomach is so flat, gorgeous obliques. Wow, I am just blown away. Love her shoes. Those are so unique. The suit is beautiful. Actually love the really straight, long, not particularly voluminous hair. I think it's a really cool look on her. She looks super fierce and just gorgeous. I would have done more red in the lip, but I love that it's not just nude. I think it's beautiful. Her makeup is bright. The inside of her face is just glowy, and she looks absolutely stunning. wow. The only thing that maybe I could say is she could have a little bit more roundness to these shoulders. The delts are, you know, she's not super big, so I would add a bit more size just to really compare with the glute and have that nice, perfect, balanced proportions. So a little bit more roundness, a little bit more size, and my gosh, stunner. Okay, next is Shalane in fourth place. Absolutely beautiful. Again, not quite in the pose, so I've got two side by side so you can see the full leg, see the full upper body. She's got gorgeous delts, a lot of size, a lot of beautiful shape, particularly lean in the delts, right? You've even got a tiny bit of striations coming through, so she's got to be careful there. But I don't find her to be overly lean elsewhere, right? Like her tummy could be even a tiny bit tighter. She could have a little bit deeper of a line in her legs. So definitely she leans out in her upper body faster. Beautiful obliques. Wow, really impressive. She looks super fit and strong in her midsection. I like how open her chest is. The shoulders are back. That arch is very beautiful. She's got a nice size in the glute, but I do think that it could be a little bit more of that rounded shape. It's not sloping or straight by any means, but I think it could just have a little bit more of that fullness kind of like right in here. Just a little bit more to match the curve where her glute comes into the hamstring. So a little more conditioning in the lower body and a little bit more size on the glute, and I think she's on fire. All right, here's Angela in third. Wow, always impressed by Angela. Her midsection is so amazing, extremely tight, very small. Her waistline is teeny tiny. A nice long torso. So you've got this beautiful hourglass shape when you see the roundness in her glute, the roundness in her lats, very curvy. Gorgeous upper body as well. And she just poses beautifully. She looks so confident. She looks like such a pro. Conditioning is great. You've got nice outline in the quads, both in the front leg and the back leg, down by the knee, up higher in the hip. She's even got a bit of a line coming through. The obliques look amazing. Her tummy is so flat and smooth. There's not a lot of like the six-pack definition coming through, but certainly her tummy is hard, it's flat, and it's looks awesome. I do feel like she could have a little bit more of the definition in the upper body coming through, like just a tiny bit more outlining of the delts, but nothing crazy. It's still bikini, but just a little bit more so that we see some of the shapes of the muscles in her arms a tiny bit more. Beautiful suit, beautiful, flowy, voluminous hair. I think she's so beautiful. Okay, Betty Jean in second place. Wow, conditioning, crazy good. So much detail in the quads. You really notice the curve in her hamstring. The line just like keeps going all the way down to her ankle. Like absolutely beautiful. Great obliques, nice, some of that six-pack muscle coming through in her tiny tummy. Beautiful lats, nice shoulders. I think she could have more size, or simply, you know what, the posing could be tweaked a little bit. I think this shoulder could be a bit higher to be more level with that back shoulder. So kind of like pump up the chest, push the shoulders more backwards, and I think that would open up the upper body. It would be even more of an obvious taper, even more width to the upper, even more of a V coming into her waist, and then the shoulder would stick out even further and line up even better with her glute. So whether she needs more size or simply just to kind of twist the shoulders a tiny bit more. But man, her conditioning is blowing me away. The beautiful twist in her back to really show off the tiny waist. I love that her strap comes all the way up to where the waist pinches in. Absolutely gorgeous. Her eyes look like such a beautiful color with the blue suit. And I love that she's got her hair off of her face. It's different. It's still full. She's got lots of volume by her ears, but definitely you're seeing her beautiful face, her great makeup. Her skin tone looks gorgeous. Like, she's just awesome. And now Janine, again, we've seen her already in first place. So here's the side by side, just gorgeous. So I find that Angela and Janine are a little too sideways. Even Betty Jean, they could be a little bit more forward. I like that we see Alessandla's midsection a bit better. However, I am loving how tiny their waists look. Even in this photo, I think you see what I mean about Angela has such a flatness in front. Betty Jean has a little bit more of the six-pack ab definition coming through. I think Shalane could have a little bit more tightness in her tummy. Like I'm seeing a lot of that rib and the oblique area kind of sucking in rather than more like that fit, firm, tight look. Beautiful conditioning on Betty Jean, but next to Janine, she does not have the size or the sweep in the quads. Janine's quads look really good. Angela, I think her conditioning looks really, really lovely here in the detail in the quad, but she has to be careful that this hand isn't covering the glute. I think Alessandra looks really beautiful. I would still pump up her upper body, like kind of pull it back a little more, be a little more deliberate looking in the pose, pull that hand a little further away. I like how Shalane has her upper body pose. It's really open. You really notice the hourglass curve. So just what a gorgeous top 5. And then from behind, Janine certainly has some fabulous definition coming through on her hamstrings, and the glute ham tie-ins are really visible. Betty Jean beside her looks a little bit less tight in the glutes as Janine, even though she has beautiful detail coming down the legs, a nice round sweep. Angela, I think, needed a little more definition, same with Shalane and same with Alessandra in the back of the legs. They're not quite comparing to our top 2. Now, Janine, for sure, you notice the hourglass shape. Really tiny waist and nice broadness to the delts. I think Angela beside her also has that really easy to see shape. Okay, so now for the over 50, we've got Betty Jean in first, Angela in second, and Charina in third. So here's Charina. Oh, she's so beautiful. I just love her gaze. Like, to me, she looks like she's a siren. She's so gorgeous. She looks confident, strong, just poised. Beautiful hair. She's got some sleekness, some nice color, beautiful little highlights to really draw your eye to her gorgeous lips, beautiful makeup. Her face is glowing. She's got a perfect colored suit, particularly with this backdrop, and her conditioning is really nice. You've got great detail in her quad, a little bit of oblique showing through. I think she could have a tiny bit more tightness and tone to the midsection, but she's pretty darn good. I think she's got lovely detail coming through on the arms. Her delts look really nice, but she could have more size. She strikes me as being a little bit more petite than the others in this top 5. So I think a little bit more size and roundness to the outside edge of the delts would be really good. And it would really draw your eye outwards and make that taper to her little waist even greater. But her glutes look amazing. Her posing is lovely. I think she looks just awesome. And Angela we've already seen, as have we already seen Betty Jean in first place. So here's the top 3, absolutely gorgeous. Janine certainly has amazing conditioning. You really notice the deepness of the lines in her legs. It doesn't go too far though, right? She looks really quite beautiful. Nice curves in her hamstrings. Angela beside her, I really noticed the curve of her glute, that nice long torso that she has. Janine, I'm noticing the beautiful detail in her arms, that little bit of a dip that comes right before the tricep and the bicep, just beautiful delts. And here's where I think Charina, you can see, could have a little bit more size in the upper body, but beautiful detail coming down her quads. And now from behind, again, I think Janine takes it because of the conditioning. You notice the hamstring definition a little bit. The glute ham tie-ins are really easy to see. Nice fullness and roundness to the glutes and beautiful hourglass shape. The width and the narrowing in. So just a little bit more size for Charina and a little bit narrower of the waist here, a bit more definition. And then for Angela, I think just a little bit more definition in the back of the legs. And wow, what an amazing Masters Pro division. And I love the difference in their hair. Everybody is different, unique, different colored suits. It's gorgeous. So there are a lot more shows coming up. May is a very busy month. So make sure you subscribe, give me a like if you like this video, comment below your thoughts, and come find me. I'm at turquoisetoffee.wordpress.com and of course on Instagram at turquoisetoffee.